It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on HabsCast.
Oh, you think, Dick? Oh, I have to take a slug. To Canadian Olympian Nick Suzuki, hero tonight. Hopefully he pulls the same trick with Team Canada in February, eh? Wow. The comeback kids do it again. Unbelievable. This is going to be a short this is going to be a really short show because I don't have anything to talk about really. Oh, okay, I'm lying. Absolutely. Just how many storylines? Man, if you were, I'd hate to have to file a game like an article like 5-10 minutes after the game because you would have ripped up the lead paragraphs in this about 42 times in the last, like Marchand the hero, Slav blow the game. Then it's, Monty lets in a softie, and you think, after, Monty great for the first 50 minutes. Then, Slav makes a great defensive play to make up partially for that, what looked like it blew the game for him. Monty or Slav the hero last game, the GOAT this game, it looked like. There's so many freaking turnarounds and storylines. And then, I had something prepared to say, well, if Caulfield was on the bubble, as far as making the U.S. Olympic team, the bubble to burst, because really, like, non-factor for, again, tonight for 50 some minutes, and then that freaking goalie scores. They just don't give up. You can't count out the Canadians just when you think, all right, they're done. No, not done. that was just no, I mean, even crazier. Especially, we're talking about the friggin' two-time defending Stanley Cup champs, and holy moly! And then, do you think, if you'd have said going into the game, Tarasov versus Montembeault would be scoreless for 50 minutes, I think you're crazy. And then all hell breaks loose. The last ends up Tarasov lets in 3 goals. But Nick Suzuki, if Doug Armstrong was hemming and hawing, hey, no more hemming and hawing. Nick sealed it tonight for sure. Deneau, loved the game from Deneau tonight. Easily his best game as a Hab. Really, really strong. Good penalty kill. Matheson, Carrier, Monty, Anderson, and Deneau, outstanding on the PK. Kept them in the game, really. The first wasn't crazy about the reffing tonight. And then, Marchand, Kucherov last game, Marchand this game, you're just burning because I don't know about you, but I don't like either of them. and it had to be Marchand that gets the goal. Slav the hero last game, and then Marchand scores, and of course it's long range on Monty. But you couldn't blame them. They had two Florida guys screening him, and the second one though, that looked like early season Monty. And then you think, okay, it's done, it's over. But then Marchand takes the bad penalty, and they score the win. Like, if you'd have said after, when it was 2-0, oh, no worries, Marchand will end up being the GOAT in this game. Like, again, if I was writing an article for trying to get it filed within 10 minutes after the game, I'd still be typing. You'd be taking 9 minutes and 59 seconds to get it sent. So just absolute The 3 points out of 4 to start this. Marchand, what a excuse me. I'm not even muting. Marchand, the dirty elbow. I hope Matheson's okay. It was wasn't nice to see, but the Canadians once again in overtime, man, they're fun to watch, and then to get a power play. You know, Florida was playing with fire. I'm glad it was Marchand that ended up being the GOAT. So I would, just so many swings, right? In the last 10 minutes. Looking like Marchand was going to be the hero, goes to be the GOAT. Anyway, Noah Dobson. Anybody complaining about Noah Dobson now? Islanders fans have been should be a little quieter now, eh? 5 more block shots from Noah Dobson tonight. He was just a shot blocking machine. That's the other guy on the PK that was really good. I mean, Cappy as well. But Dobson's up to 95 blocks on the year, and that's second best in the NHL. And tonight, especially, just superb. 5 block shots, 2 more points, assists for him. He's really been on a heater lately. Dobson now on pace for 15 goals and 57 points. So be kind of cool. When's the last time the Habs had 2 defensemen get 57 points? It's been a while. Did Subban and Markov ever get 57 plus together in a season? I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think they did. You'd probably have to go back to maybe the 80s for the last time that Canadians had 2 defensemen hit 57. Perhaps even back to the friggin' Robinson Lapointe days. But anyway, this team, I'm telling you, there's a little bit of pixie dust surrounding this team. They outplayed the Panthers tonight too, really, for the most part. They played for the first 50 minutes at least, up until that slap penalty, they played a consummate road game. And here's I got to give at the 50-minute mark, the way things were going, I was going to say this, this beer's for Marco Marciano, because I mean, I did not expect Monty to save his first 20 shots or whatever it was, and he looked good. Other than that, I don't know why he was on his knees for the Reinhardt goal, but hey, he did have a good game. 28 out of 30, right? He saved 28 out of 30. Just a sec here. I'll get out my handy dandy calculator. Quickly tally that up. 933 save percentage. That's more like it, Monty. 933 save percentage in the win in Florida. He's now 6-0-1 against Florida in his last 7. So kudos to Monty. 2 more assists for Hudson. I guess that puts the wrap on the calendar year for him. 69 assists in a calendar year for Lane Hudson. Isn't that something? The former mark was 57. You know what I also liked about Dobson tonight? He tried to be physical. I mean, he's never going to be physical, but he did actually play with a little bit of jam to his game tonight. So hey, he's a big boy, and yeah, we'd like to see it. He's never going to be a bruiser, but I liked his compete tonight. I thought he was pretty solid. competitive wise. But he's fearless with the blocking shots, and he's got to get, you know, and then on pace for 57 points, 15 goals, second in the league in block shots. There's nobody else at the top in block shots that's going to get 57 points. Like Braden McNabb, he's in with Parayko, Braden McNabb, Jake McCabe, Ben Sherratt. Like these aren't 60-point scorers by any means. Parayko being the closest to that. What's Parayko? He's going to be a friggin' Canadian Olympian. So, no, it's Noah Dobson is proving, to the world here that Kent Hughes made a good move there, and also Danault, lot better game from Danault tonight. I really liked his all round game. He's and he almost set up a couple of goals too. Just there's a couple more things here I wanted to mention. Matheson's on pace for 40 points as well. So the Canadians might have 3 40-point defensemen this year. And again, it's been a while, right? You like that Paul Maurice said going into the game, hey, that defense, they move the puck and they're really hard to, it's like their transition game and puck movement. And it's true. The Canadians, the big three, there is a big three now again, it is damn good at good puck moving defensemen. And hey, you get Goalie back here, get Doc back, eventually Newhook, Evans. Hey, these guys can hang with anybody in the East. They really can. I've seen them. They went into Tampa and Florida and outplayed both of them. So I really like their chances in the East this year. Maybe they got to add a little bit more, physicality, and we'll see. But the potential is there for sure for the Canadians to. I don't see a more skilled team in the East right now. I just don't. Like these guys can, and it's nice to see obviously the big line, right? The big line comes through tonight, and that's huge. I just got an email from Michael Hucklack there. Let's have a look at the stats. Break down the stats from tonight here. Matheson, 27 minutes. Big friggin' effort from Matheson again tonight. 6:18 shorthanded, folks. 6:18. Like he goes out there. He goes out for entire PKs. First he's out with Carrier. Then Dobson comes on. Like he's a stud. He's a stud defensively. I love it. Caulfield, Suzuki, 22, 20 minutes each. Slav, almost 20 minutes. Carrier, 21-18. Hudson, 22. Of course, he wasn't on the PK a whole hell of a lot. 24 for Dobson. Yeah. Cappy and Demidov over 18 minutes. They had lots of ice time tonight too. Demi ends up +1. Dobson +2. I would have, Dobson didn't get a star, but I would have given him a star tonight. Just a solid effort from him. Arbor and Blay led the way with hits. And, Carrier and, as the usual suspects, Carrier and Dobson, 5 block shots for Dobby, 4 for Carrier. Good in the face-off circle again tonight. Cappy was really good. He was up against Lindell. And, kind of like a similar player, right? Similar fin, and he he bested him in the faceoff circle. He won some big ones tonight. Dino 59%, Cole 55%, or sorry, Nick 55%. Veleno 40, 56 to 44. They beat them in the faceoff circle tonight, and that's especially impressive because the Panthers are good on draws. Cole 5 shots, Suzuki 7. Hey, word has it that Nick's on the team. Someone was like Elliot Friedman said something that made people think, hey, this means that that Nick made the Olympic team, and I didn't really understand like the 13th, 14th forward. Anyway, Habs fans seem to think that Nick. It all means that Nick is on the team, and I can't see how there'd be a friggin' riot now in Montreal if he didn't make the team. How many points in the calendar year for him now? 97 or 98? Third best or third most Canadian. Great defensively. Hey, he's gotta be on. He does. All right, let's get to some comments. This Mark. Geez, Mark, you're going solo here with the kids are maturing nicely, Grant. Go Habs, go. That's $15 tonight, Mark, that you've donated. Well, this afternoon and tonight. Thank you. Cheers, man. It's looking the 1,500 mark that I was hoping to hit in YouTube revenue. It's looking really good, and no thanks to you, Mark, and everybody else that's that watches and that who's contributed. Wayner, I don't know if you got my text message, but we're not going to make it up for bingo. I got to do 2 podcasts tomorrow. Sorry, buddy, but work is going to have to take precedence. Just getting this thing off the ground. It's really snowballing here, and I have to keep the momentum going. With the Olympic team being named tomorrow, me and Liam are going to do a podcast right after the Olympic team's named, and we're also going to delve into 50 years ago. Tomorrow it'll be that famous New Year's Eve game between Soviet Red Army and Montreal that was an all-time classic, and Liam's the best guy to have on to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the Olympic team and about that, and set things up for the big World Junior game, right? And I'll come on after the World Junior game too. Finland against Canada, and we'll get to see who gets first place in the pool. I love this time of year for hockey, man. And hey, even better, Monty looks to be back on track. That Marciano is a good. I would be bringing him up to, especially if they keep Fowler up here. I don't know. I strongly consider bringing Marciano up to tutor these guys, because he really seems to be doing the job here. We just got a new member, Germain Benoit. Thank you, Germain. Just a sec, folks here. I just typed in my my email, my work email. Germain, if you want a free membership to my Patreon page, you can. I just typed it in, Grant at HabsCast.ca. All right, you can. Germain Benoit became a YouTube member. Germain, you can send me an email, and I will gift you a free membership to my Patreon page. Thank you so much. Sheldon, can't stick around tonight. Have to spend a little time with my better half. Have a good time, folks. And you sent $5 anyways. Sheldon, you're the best. Hope to see you tomorrow, eh? Because I want to wish you a happy New Year on New Year's Eve. Okay, thanks, Sheldon, and cheers. I'm gonna have a drink here. And by the way, Wayne Waybell here, that's on here. He has a New Year's Eve party, and I wanted to go, but for you guys, I have to work for you guys. He has the best bingo. They have New Year's Eve bingo, and it's quite the event. Waybell, Deneau has already made a difference on draws and penalty kills. Absolutely. Yeah, he was outstanding tonight, and good 5-on-5 too. A lot better. Best game by far, I think, for him so far. What an effort to tie it up to force overtime. Hey, Sammy. Yeah, you said it, my friend. Solid second period for the Habs, and again, surprisingly, Monty. Yeah. Well, hey, this sums it up. What a comeback win. The Cardiac Kids. Absolutely. Unbelievable. He really muffed the second goal. Well, I mean, that's a 50-goal scorer, and he put it top shelf. Yeah, shouldn't have been on his knees, but I mean, that was a hell of a shot. I got to give him that. And hey, they won, so who cares? 3 out of 4 points ain't bad considering. No, considering it was Tampa and Florida. So I'm going to have a look at the live standings, which I always do after a Habs win. I tend not to look after a Habs loss. Let's see here. Standings. Let's go. All right. 1 point behind the Wings with a game in hand. So, all right. But second to Tampa in win percentage. Son of a bitch, eh? Tampa had to win in OT. That sucks. So, third place in Eastern Conference. How do you like them apples? Not too bad. Well, let's get the here. I'll get a snapshot of the Atlantic Division. Tight. Guess who's in 8th place now in the Sens, back in 8th. Got to look out for those Sabres, though. Man, oh man, are they on a heater, eh? They're a point behind Florida. I'll bring this up and show it here just to bear with me a second here, please. There we go. Looks like nice goal by Caulfield. Oh my God, that was nice. I think is an understatement. That was an absolute beauty. Looks like they're back on track. Well, we can only hope, right? Bruins. Okay, so look at this: 49, 48, 47, 45, 44, 42, 42, 41. All 8 teams in the same, like in the 40s. Going into the new year. Is that absolutely crazy or what? Like, that's just nuts. It seemed like the Habs were hitting a lot of posts. I'd gotten that feeling, and they posted that stat tonight: 56 posts or bars hit, and that's second most. That's second most in the NHL. Uh, hey, if even 10 of those go in, Habs are laughing right now. They're leading the conference like easily. But I don't know. It's they're third in the conference, which is pretty cool. But hey, 4 points out of being out of the playoffs, so you cannot rest for 1 minute this season. It's nuts. You can go from first in the division to fifth in a week. It's so Buffalo, yeah, they're pretty hot, but there's a few teams now. Tampa's now won 4 of their last 5. What are the Habs now? I saw a stat. Just bear with me here. One regulation loss in their last 10 now for the Habs. So 6-1-3, I think, in their last 10 games. One regulation loss. So they're getting back on track thanks to these incredible comebacks. It's nuts. Total team effort tonight. Lots of heart. Way to end the year. Absolutely. Best game Montreal played all year. It could be. I love the defensive structure tonight. Like, to hold Pittsburgh, to hold Florida goalless through the first 50 minutes, 9 shots on goal through the first 33 minutes in Florida. I mean, that says a lot, right? And unfortunate the freaking Slav. Hey, he's a kid, and now Nanny's gonna. You could see he was more pissed off than anybody about that, right? You knew that he's okay. I have to make up for this, and he, like that. I love that back check and not getting a penalty on it too. That was great, and hey, he'll learn from that. Slav will learn from that. Next time he'll shoot it in. But yeah, I mean, how many guys had? At one point, I only thought, Caulfield's about the only guy that really hasn't done much, and then he scored that frickin' goal, you know. But Engstrom took a penalty, but he wasn't too bad again tonight. Arbor does not get a lot of ice time, but he's been steady. Like, I have not minded Arbor's play, really. Like, you look at his hits per minute. Imagine if he'd have played 27 minutes like Matheson. That's 12 hits in the game. Matheson, no hits. Arbor, 12 if he'd have played 27. But yeah, I have not minded Arbor's play of late. I think he probably could be playing more. Maybe, hopefully, Marty starts to trust him a little more and give him up that ice time a little bit. I mean, I've said, Matheson can't play 27 minutes, but I guess he keeps proving me wrong. He's in incredible shape, Matheson. He really is. Just like Hudson too. Hudson, I don't think I've ever seen him breathe heavily. He's just great endurance. Mark, tell me Suzuki doesn't deserve to be on Team Canada. Such boys. Yeah. We're up over 1,000 people in less than a half hour. That's crazy good numbers. Blaine had to had to cancel at the last minute there, or not at the last minute, a few hours ago, and he offered his apologies. He had originally planned on joining me here. Oh, it's tough this time of year getting people. Rick's laptop is kaput right now. And Liam's young lad, he's heading back to Rankin Inlet soon, so he had to spend some more time with him. So, but we're gonna have Liam tomorrow join me, and that'll be fun. I hate to say it as well, but got to give Monty the next game too after that performance. Oh, I don't know. It wasn't that good. I still think Fowler's had better games than that, but yeah, he was good. He was fairly solid, but I don't know. Can't yeah, they miraculously came back, but you can't give up that second goal. Like that should have ended the game for the Canadians, but yeah, he was pretty friggin' he was solid up till the goals for sure. Goalie's got to play 60 minutes, so hopefully that's the next step for him. We saw a lot, his pads, his tracking of the puck was better. His confidence was better. He was challenging shooters. Rebound control was better. There were a lot of positives. He was coming out. He wasn't staying back in his net, so playing more confidently. There were a lot of encouraging signs from Monty tonight, and now the Canadians have a goalie dilemma. That's good. Best game of the year by far. One of them. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Off Hetty. Holy shit, thank God we won that. Yeah, well, funny how I feel they deserve to win the Tampa game more than this one. Well, they played even better against Tampa, but I don't know. I didn't find that. I thought they shut down Florida really well for the most part. Monty, great game. That second goal was weak, but overall good performance. Yeah. 7 out of 8 in the last 2 years in Florida. I'll take it. Zook finally did something. Yeah. What a only 97 points in the last calendar year. Finally did something. Is it me or did this game feel like a playoff game? Yeah, it did. But yeah, no, it's only just you, Mark. Monty, great game. You're allowed one bad goal a game. No, you're not. I disagree with that. But pretty solid game from him. Pizza is making a huge impact too. Yeah. Sam lets in his usual easy one, and Suzuki saves his ass. That kind of sums it up. I like how Wayner doesn't mince words. I still don't like Monty, but he had one hell of a game. Yeah, well, he did. There were a couple of really big saves. I agree. Though it was a perfect shot too, so even that I have to give a pass on. Well, it was. I mean, friggin' Reinhardt he's got a cannon, eh? Did you see at one point Reinhardt and Suzuki they were going at each other a bit? Might be teammates in 6 weeks. Hope they didn't say anything that they can't take back. I like that from Wayne. Dobson blocked a lot of shots tonight. Absolutely. 5 more. 95 on the year. He trails Braden McNabb by 2 for the NHL lead. Well, maybe not. Maybe McCabe. If McCabe had more than one, then he's third. But he was fourth going in, and could possibly be second now in block shots. He's been great. And the puck movement. This is a good point by Sylvain Desroches. The puck movement is crazy. Absolutely, eh? They really do move the biscuit nicely. Yeah, you can't deny that. What happened here? Oh, Bartman, $5 super sticker. Thanks, Bartman. You know what? I think we're getting perilously close to that $1,500 mark I was hoping to hit. Let's. Oh, there's a yellow one. Fort George. Let's get Grant to his December goal. Yeah, that'd be good. I'd say we're damn close. Probably within 20. Probably within $50. Another 20 here. So, thank you guys. I'm. This month has been. It gives me encouragement for the future. Kapanen low-key might be the number 2 center for Finland. Yeah. Yeah. He for sure, man. I'm with you, Grant, on the Habs being able to hang with anyone this year. The West is top heavy, but the East is wide open. I think they can win the East. Yeah, Washington has more size, blah, 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 but, talent can win out too, and we'll see. But when you've got that much freaking skill, it can win you a lot of hockey games. I'm glad Dobson is starting to use his body more. Yeah, you noticed that too, eh, Jacques? Hi, folks. A huge win. Very happy for Monty. The Reinhardt goal is a true goal scorer one. Yeah, it was. You gotta give him credit for that. Not sure the last time was that I've seen Marty so happy behind the bench right after Susie buried the overtime winner. Oh, was he happy again? He was pretty damn happy when Slav tied it the other night. Did you see him punching Letowski and then punching Robidas? Letowski's are like this. He hit him twice, and it was pretty funny. USA will make a big mistake not putting Hudson on the team. Yeah. Yep, he should be. And hey, I mentioned Dobson early on. Is Travis Sanheim really better than Dobson? I don't know. Pretty similar players in a lot of ways, really. You could argue one way or the other, but Sanheim played, and Parayko. He's just as good as those guys, but Armstrong, Parayko's on his team, and Sanheim played in the last one, so they'll be there. Drew Doughty probably. I mean, Drew's the leadership that Drew Doughty can bring, and I love Drew Doughty. He's likely gonna make the team too. 1,100 tuning in. It's going to be a travesty that Hudson's not on Team USA. Yeah, I know. Greetings from Gord Halkett. All right. Not Dave Halkett, eh? Remember Dave on the old message boards? We used to have some battle royales. If anyone can help donate a few bucks, Grant's closing in on his goal for the month. Not much left to go. Yeah, we're getting there. So much fun to watch. Wayner, absolutely. And I wish I could be there tomorrow night. I really do. Cheers. Have a bingo on me. Have a pint on me. Okay. Um, Xavier, Montreal. That's a new one. Xavier, Montreal. Hudson made a play in OT. Yeah, Dobson over to him. Start the 4-on-3 was a mistake. Lack of respect. Oh, well, I don't know. Dobson's playing really well right now. I mean, we're talking about a former 70-point defenseman, top 11 pick. It's not like they chose a bum over him. Dobson, the reason Dobson's out there at times, he's got the heavier point shot, right? I mean, he's on pace for 15 goals. So, no slouch either. I wouldn't put a lot of, Dobson has 7 points in his last 3. He's got a 4-game point streak going. So, that's not too shabby, eh? Let's have a look here. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points in his last 4 games. 4-game point scoring streak. So sometimes you ride the hot hand too, eh? He scores. I mean, he's got 3 goals in his last. He's been scoring goals too. So 3 goals in his last 6. Love Laner's playmaking, obviously, but Dobson has a little more goal scoring ability. I mean, that's something when you can say, there could be another guy over Hudson. What's that tell you? People have to get over the fact that Hudson isn't very physical. Well, I don't know. Kill penalties, run the second power play, score 15 goals, 50 to 60 points. 6'4", mobile, impossible to beat one-on-one, block shots like anybody else, like nobody else in the NHL. And he's starting to, I saw some physicality from him tonight. So, yeah. Yeah. But don't know. So, he's not going to be a bruiser. Well, big deal. Do I find Dobson is similar to Desjardins? Yeah, in some ways. Desjardins wasn't a mean bruiser either, right? Yeah, that's not a bad comp. Did you see Dobson rock that Panther player in his own zone? Yeah. Yeah. And then he got into that scrum too. He's not overly physical, but he played like it was a playoff game tonight. He's a stud. Glad to have him. Oh, frig. He helps transform that defense. Like, he can't. And then when Goalie gets back, like, my goodness, the top Montreal, if Goalie can stay healthy the second half of this season, Montreal has the best top 4 defense in the league, I do believe, with Goalie, Matheson, Hudson, and Dobson. 3 sons, eh? I just realized that. 3 sons in the big 4 there. 3 sons and a Goalie. My 3 sons. Do 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 do. I think I might be onto something there. Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not, this is my first beer of the night, folks. Hudson is in the mix for the Norris. Yeah. But McCagg, Dobson will play better and will be more physical. However, what an offensive weapon. Well, I'm glad to see people are happy with Dobson because he was a stud tonight. Absolute. Stefan's game is just as good too. Anyone who doesn't think so has never watched Crazy Lane play. Going off the rails on a crazy lane. Not sure when the last time that I seen Marty so happy. Oh, right. Saw that one already. Yeah, not since the last game anyway. Danault was good tonight, I thought. Solid all around. Yeah, I did mention that at the start. He needs a bit of time. Yeah, I thought he was a lot better tonight. Marty looked like he wanted to jump on the ice with the boys. I didn't see that. I'll get a clip and I'll put it up on X tomorrow and on Blue Sky. By the way, you can if you're on Blue Sky or X, I'm on there, and if you don't follow me, I hope you do, and I'll try to follow you back. Marty looks so excited, love the passion. Hey, come on. The no line was good on the forecheck. I don't mind that trio. You have to think like Doc in for on the first line when he's back. Keep that third line together, and then Texier. I guess fourth line for now. Veleno, Texier, and Galley. And then the extra. I'm missing somebody, but yeah. I didn't mind Bolduc, Danault, and Anderson. Good size, decent defensively, pretty heavy line. I think that could be a good third line. It's got its potential. Yeah, he just needs a few more games to know. I agree. Yeah, let's hope Matheson wasn't hurt. Says he skated. Somebody says he skated away. Wasn't as bad as it looked at first. Demonov leads all rookies in points and assists. Yeah. Kapanen tied NHL rookie in goals with 11. Yeah, Cappy needs to start to pop a couple more there. It's coming close. Nice slapper there, right? The one-timer. He's got a really good shot. He got off a good one and just needed to get that a little higher over the pad because he had a lot of smoke on it, but a nice pad save. 996 on X. Hop on over to the YouTube channel there, folks. Join in the live chat here. We're having lots of fun. And anyone that is on the live chat, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notify button. You'll get notification whenever I'm doing a live HabsCast. And I do lots of them. Not sure the last time. Yeah. The depth they'll have when the injured guys get back is good. Line A, I don't know if they put him on waivers. You can't send a $8 million contract to the minors, can you? Do you think somebody pick him up on waivers? I don't know. They played against Johansson and Tarasov, not Voss. Yeah, but backup goalies against the Habs have a history. No room for line A. Yeah, I agree with that. Although, tell you, there's room for him on that second power play. Cappy, poor Cappy, he's got to play with like Gallagher and like what a lunch bag letdown. It's almost like you go from playing with Slav and Demidov 5-on-5. It's almost like less hardly generate anything because then he goes from playing with those guys to play. Yeah, the other team's got one less player, but it doesn't make any difference. The quality of player, all of a sudden he's with Galley and Texier and Anderson, and it's like, ooh. Great win. Happy New Year's, boys. Good things are coming. Hey, Peter. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, Texie's he's not a top 6. He's competing. He wants to keep his job, right? You get a chance to play in the top line, you're gonna. I mean, he's probably a fairly smart Frenchman. Literally a Frenchman from France. Like, hey, I'm with a 5'7" winger and 90-point center. I better try to get these guys the puck, right? So he knows what he has to do. Our top 3 centers did well in the dot tonight. Yep. Engstrom, 11:30. Jack, should get more ice time. Yeah, I agree. That's right. Blay and Jack both 4 hits. Yep. All stuff that I have mentioned. Cappy and Deneau both good in the faceoffs tonight. And Susie, too. Susie was 55%, 111 draws. Deneau 110. Cappy 1-8, lost 5. But up against Lundell, too, that was big. He won some really clean, too. Cappy's face-off percentage is impressive for a rookie, really. It'll only get better. Engstrom only got more time because they were pushing for a goal at the end. Yeah, that's true. Marty sent the fourth line with a few minutes left when we were behind. Yeah, I know, eh? After the second goal, he put out Delano's line, and I'm like, what are you doing, Marty? Like, it's not like all the 3 other lines were tired. Like, okay, you're putting out Veleno. 8 minutes, 7 minutes left, down 2-0, and you're putting out Veleno. And plus, after a goal, there's always like, it's a minute before they drop the puck too. Like, whew. There was another time too when, okay, the Suzuki line was out, right? Susie got the penalty. At first, I thought they gave it to Caulfield. I think, how the hell are you giving Caulfield a penalty for knocking somebody down? And it's for Suzuki touching the player's glove. But Sawyer was too. He's like, I don't know about this penalty. Said that about 2 or 3 against the Habs, and I was thinking the same thing. The interference call against Engstrom, the hook or whatever they called it against Susie. But anyway, so Suzuki line's out. Susie comes back on. He's on for about, so he'd just been on, then they penalty killed, and then he was out for about 30 seconds after he came out of the box. And then they put out Texier and Caulfield. I mean, okay, well, why why aren't Demi and Slav going out right now? You know, they've been sitting for freaking 5 minutes, and it just seemed a little odd that, you know, the line that has been their best for the past five 5 games at that point, and they needed a goal. You know, didn't get out at that point. But I guess the only thing I could think of was like Cappy was out killing the penalty, so they figured give him one extra, little extra time. But he wasn't out, at the end of the penalty. So anyway, little things, but not the end of the world. They won. I'm not going to get that upset. Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, we're talking about a 20. What's he averaging here? Let me just have a look. Like 24 minutes a game, The last 24, 22, 21, 22, 24, 27 in his last. So the least amount of ice time he's had in his last. And then again tonight, 24. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 straight above 2153 or more. So basically, he's playing 22 plus minutes a game now. That's wild, eh? I was fortunate enough to snag some last-minute tickets. Habs fans had an awesome Ole chant going on. Great atmosphere and even better comeback. Oh, man, you were at the game? Hey, thanks for Justin Turk. Thanks for coming on here and letting us know. That's awesome. Well, we've got 200 here in the live chat. It's not too often that we get that many. Excellent. Thank you very much. YouTube will actually pay me a few bucks tonight. So on top of the contributions that we've gotten from people here, which are always appreciated, even YouTube's gonna send me a few bucks tonight. So Germain, thanks, Grant. Love watching your show. Hey, well, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Oh, some new names here. Alex Panetta. Happy New Year's, everyone. Same to you, Alex. Here's another. Filterless Bear. Monty owes Caliphate dinner after answering quickly to that garbage goal he let in. Yeah, well, again, that was a hell of a shot by a 50-goal scorer. Should he been on his knees? No, but I mean, there wasn't this much room, right? Like 2 inches and a quarter, and the bastard he put it there. You got to hand it to Reinhardt too. And it's funny, Sam Reinhardt, in his draft year, like I remember scouting him, and he was a supreme playmaker, and he might be a 20-goal scorer in the NHL. Didn't really show, a lot of goal scoring potential, really. There's one guy that improved his shot, I kept working on it, and frig, got to give him his due for how good a goal scorer he's become in Florida. Yes, the winning percentage. Yeah, as I mentioned, they're just under Detroit, or sorry, just under Tampa and just ahead of Detroit. But basically, the three are, even Steven. You should have went with an overlap instead of the reverse RVH on that second goal. Yeah. Redemption for Susie and Slav. Also good to see Demi set up the tying goal with Susie. And there are a lot of E's there, right? Demi Susie. Yes. Caulfield's goal was a vulgar display of power. Ottawa doesn't have their first round pick because it was forfeited. They will need to start winning. Yeah, that's true. Captain Clutch is back. Man, he's got some big goals. Eh? Since well, in this calendar year, how many clutch goals did Susie score in 2025? And he ends it. What a fitting way, right? Captain Clutch ends it with yet another clutch goal. He scored game tires, game winners, overtime. He's the man. He's got to be on the team. That's one of the nicest goals Cole has ever scored for sure. I think so. I think I'm going to have 2 beers. Why? Because I got another one here. So we're going to have a 2-beer podcast here, fellas. I'm not going to be falling asleep anytime soon. Two revved up. 1,000 watching on X, or well, says 1,000. I know it's not 1,000, but quite a few, and 215 here, which is a great number. They're competitive while everything isn't going right. Injuries, rookies, and iffy goaltending are not keeping them down. Yeah. Take that to all those who want MSL gone. Well, they're going to, is it 5 straight years they're going to have an improvement in points? It's all you can ask. Florida home feed were pissed on the peak play when Cole scored that beautiful goal. Oh, the pick play. Yeah. Oh, well. It's too busy watching. I didn't notice. It's too busy watching Cole do his thing there. Typical kid mistake, trying too much when they were looking for a goal. Yeah, Slav. Hey, there was nobody angrier about that than Slav. Trust me. That was a superstar type goal by Cece. I was going to say after the game, is he injured or what? But I think he answered it. Just a little bit of a, hey, you can't be fantastic all year round. There's going to be times, man, where it happens. Been following the Habs since the Lafleur years, right? Same here. This team is really special and may well surprise teams in the playoffs. You know what? I know, people will say, oh, you got to have size, got to da. That Colorado team that won a few years back, like, they weren't necessarily built on size. It was skill, right? So why can't this team be Colorado from 5 years ago? Galley's going to have to drop the mitts with Marchand next game to avenge that elbow on Matheson. Yeah. I don't know. Not sure he'd win that one. Colorado's the only team to still not lose a home game. 16-0-2. Yeah, they're juggernauts right now. But you know what has happened to teams that are... When's the last President's Trophy? 1 out of the last 15 or something absolutely ridiculous like that has won the cup. It doesn't happen very often. They're buddies, yeah. Are you really back on the Monty train after 1 win? Absolutely delusional. Okay. let's no, not absolutely delusional. I know what he's saying, and I don't think he's necessarily saying he's back on the train. It's a good sign. And what's going to happen here is that Monty is going to get more chances, and we'll see. No, nobody's saying that Monty's going to be fantastic the rest of the year, but it's a good sign that a good first step, baby steps, and a good baby step. Arbor definitely should play more. I'd be hammering Marty if I was a GM. It's not how GMs work. Not a good idea. Let Colorado peak now. Yeah, I want to peak just as the playoffs start. There you go. Is Hudson the most talented player on our team since Lafleur? Yeah, maybe. And Demidov might be too. Slav in his own way. Caulfield's got some skill too. A lot of skill on this team, isn't there? Is there a more skilled team in the East? I don't know. I'm not sure there is right now. Glad Matheson was able to get up. Yep. Could have given him a 5, eh? Okay. Hey, I'm not sure why somebody has to, they just won a freaking game there, Lord Ipsum. Why do you have to come on here and be a goof? Relax. You don't have to get all revved up. We're in, folks are positive right now. Let's not get picking a fight. Even if Arbor is playing fine, I'm more than okay with our best defenseman having a lot of ice time if they can handle it. Most teams don't play their sixth defense that much. There you go. Time to trade Monty while he still has value. Yeah, there you go. That goal that went in, wow, Monty, come on. Yeah, that goal that went in was a fantastic shot. We're a little bit of overreaction to the, he made 28 saves tonight. And he got beat by a 50-goal scorer who had this much room, and he found it. Yeah, should there have been this much room? Yeah, probably, but come on, he left that much room, and the guy stuck it in. Give the 50-goal scorer some credit on that. We don't have to dwell on the one negative in the whole game that the puck went over and Slav. Is anybody dwelling on Slav here? No. Hit that like button and subscribe. Absolutely. Okay, what's this? I just got an orange. What's this orange thing here? Oh, Donnie McCaskill. Donnie boy. Happy New Year, Grant and crew. Happy for the chance to listen and chat about Hab stuff. There we go. Thank you. You know what? I think along with the YouTube money that will come in from this episode, how many somebody wants to check there? How many views has this got so far? Must be close to 1,000 on YouTube. I'm going to hit the 1,500 mark for December, and I'm pretty happy about that. Went from 500 to 600 to 900 in November, and I'm going to crack 1,500, I'm pretty sure. Probably tonight. So thank you, folks. I really appreciate it. I was at the Bell Center versus Florida last year when Suzuki scored while we removed the goalie and then scored in overtime. Oh man, that's yeah. I don't. My memory's not what it used to be, but I'll believe you on that. I know he. I mean, he did it last year, but was it against Florida? Johnny Cooper. You know, he's gonna. That's true, right? Cooper will. If he was watching tonight, he's gonna have to say, get a call from Paul Maurice and say, "Hey, you got to get the Suzuki. You got to get the Suzuki guy on there." Um, he'll be calling Armstrong. The puck movement brings up the Habs team shooting percentage. That's true. Um, Vincent Cote. Hey Grant, first time here. Really enjoy your content. Lane Hudson now third NHL defenseman for points. His motor is insane. I just hope you will get an invite. Yeah, thanks, Vincent. Uh, Probably not. It sounds like he's not going to, but boy, yeah, I would pick him all day. His defensive game is outstanding. It's might be the most underrated defenseman when it comes to defensive play in the league. Like really, really solid. Um, and hey, I appreciate that you enjoy the content. I appreciate that you decided to post and that you watch. Uh, Rock and roll, onward and upward, folks. Let's keep building this Habs community, great Habs community we've got going here. Um, four forwards in the OT power play to start. That's right. Pareko is more physical and yeah, well, yeah, and Jack Eye's more physical than Pareko. Should he be on the team then? Yeah, I know that's a little silly, but yes, Dobson almost got into a fight after the late hit. That's right. Reinbacher in, carry out, come playoffs. Yeah, well, Carrier, tough to keep him out, man. That veteran presence, he's so solid. Excuse me. Ugh. He's so solid on the penalty kill, man. I don't know. What did he play? What did he play tonight? Um, I'll tell you what though, like Reinbacher will be, you know what? As is often the case at playoff time, you don't play like 22 guys, you know. The last time the Habs won a cup, I think more than 30 ended up playing that playoff. Like it's a long run. And you know, Reinbacher will definitely be part of the team. He'll be called up. And if he's not in the lineup and they're being after a game or two or in a series and they're getting outmatched physically, they would bring in um, they would bring him in to replace Carrier in the playoffs. But I have a feeling that with Goalie back in the lineup, don't forget that brings another physical presence, right? We'll see, but it'll be interesting to see at playoff time if they make the playoffs. That's still not. Yeah, hardest shot doesn't mean a hell of a lot if you never get it on net or get it through. Um, He's never scored more than 6 goals in his career, so he does have a hard shot, but Demonov would have had a breakaway if Ekblad didn't cross-check him. Yeah. Remember when I told you that Texier was inching his way to the first line? No. But remember when I tell you now that he shouldn't be on the first line. Late to the dance here, Grant. Too busy celebrating with the hockey gods. Should have 4 points so far on this road trip. Cole's goal was nasty. And still gonna get snubbed. Yeah, you're right, he is. Don't forget, everyone. Second half Slav showed up early. 70 points is definitely attainable. I agree. That line is sick, night in, night out. Thanks, Chris. Monty outside of that Reinhardt snipe was solid. Marchand goal, not much he could see. Yeah, he was. He was solid. Let Struble deal with Marchand. Yeah. I could see Florian being the Claude Lemieux for this team. Not as skilled as Claude, but we'll see. Not as good a skater. Monty had a team in front of him tonight that were trying their best to get him a win. The defensive structure tonight, I was thoroughly impressed. They really did play. They really did play a solid game, for sure. Habs versus CCCP. I guess you're late, Robert, because I announced at the start. Liam McGuire and I are doing a special after the Olympic team's named. We're going to do a afternoon podcast, New Year's Eve podcast, talking about Nick Suzuki making the Olympic team, and we're gonna delve into that New Year's Eve game. I remember it well. One of the best games of all time. Had so much meaning to it. Yep. So tune in tomorrow afternoon if you have the time, or watch it later or whatever. But Liam is his memory. He'll have all sorts of facts and memories, and he's the best guy to talk to about it. We were trying to get Yvon Lambert, and unfortunately left it too late, and he didn't get back to us in time. Larry Robinson would have done it, but he's got a bunch of doctor's appointments that day or tomorrow, unfortunately, or we'd have had Larry on. But Liam and I will cover it. I'll try to get a few clips, and we're going to relive that tomorrow with a fun podcast tomorrow afternoon. I hope you can join us. Lane the Hut. Hudson mixing in a little deception on that pass to Suzuki was a thing of beauty. He's so smart. Appreciate you, Grant, building capacity here. Yeah, Donnie, that's for sure. Heineman, yeah, I have noticed that I hadn't seen his name. Islanders fans were bringing it up every time he got a point, so been a little quiet lately as far as the pimping goes. So there you go. 2 points in his last 10. All right. And Dobson has 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. He has 8 in his last 4 compared to 2 in the last 10 for Heineman. So there you go. What goes around comes around. 30 games into the season. Don't forget Heineman started off strong last year too, right? And then faded. Mind you, he had getting run over by a car didn't help, I guess. I did like Monty's game, though, just not that second. Some of my comments were replying 2 other comments, not trying to shit on Monty. Okay, good. Or shit in Monty, even worse. No, don't try to do that. The days of having 2 bruisers on the bottom pair D is gone, pretty much. You got to have puck movers. Florida, dump and pound the D. You need a puck mover on all 3 pairs. I agree. I don't know if Engstrom will be up there in the playoffs, but that was a set play on Monty's second goal. I don't blame Monty on that one. Grant, how did you become a Habs fan from Ontario? Seriously, Bontoon? You have any idea how many Habs fans live in Ontario? There's probably 1 million plus. And I'm not kidding. My family's from Shawville, Quebec, too, by the way. Both my parents are West Quebecers, so there's that. My dad was a Habs fan. Mom was a Leafs fan. Her father was a Leafs fan. Dad was a Habs, and I went Habs. My oldest sister was Bobby Orr, Bruins, so we had a nice little mix there growing up. I liked Slaff's reaction to the goal when he was in the box. He sat there a little longer, and you could tell he was pissed. Yeah. I liked that Marty threw a putt right away, too. Well, he knows Slaff. He knows Slaff freaking pissed. Go out there and try to make a difference, right? Get it back. It's like we do sit in there and shit in the opposing goalie when Cole scores those goals. No, we say it's a goal scorer's goal. People need to chill. No, that's true. It was a great shot. It really was. I mean, if it would have been Fowler that let that in, how many people are shitting on him right now? Hey? Lane the Hut is getting better at defense. That he is. Lane will be playing shinny hockey in NDG during the Olympics. Cheers. I like that one. Remember how Zuki played last year after being snubbed for the Four Nations? I think we'll need to send the USA team management a thank you letter soon. Lane is going to play like a demon to prove him wrong. Yeah. Going to Belleville to watch Laval play tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing Reiner and Jack-Eye in action. Hey, that's cool. I don't know if I'll be able. What time are they playing at? I hope it's not overlapping with the Canada game. I'll try to catch some of the Laval game too. Hudson reminds me of Denny Savard, the way he skates. A little bit. Joe Segreto. Bless you. Hey, Joe. I guess I just sneezed, eh? All right. I'd rather Arbor start getting more of those PK minutes than Carrier. I don't know. Carrier's pretty solid on the PK, but he's the guy we need to move. I really think he's too small and can't think the game fast enough to be in the bottom pair either. Maybe. Didn't think Montembeau would get it done. Had a good game. There's a new name, Sammy Masloum. Thanks, Sammy. Goalie hits harder than Arbor. His speed helps him get more hits in as well. Oh, yeah. Happy New Year, Grant. Hey, Danny Asham. Goalie gets hit harder than Jack-Eye. That's true. Nick was shit for 55 minutes. Okay. Huh. That's one way of looking at it, I guess. What's that have to do with the price of bananas in Jamaica? Let Caulfield rest. I don't give lines a Linsman or Marchand bum about that team anyway. There you go. Maybe. Maybe it affected his play, Monty wanting to be on the Olympic team. I don't know. I think he just let in some lost some games, let in some bad goals, and it kind of snowballed. I don't think when you're sitting there playing, you're like, oh, if I make this save, I'll make the Olympic team. Like, it's probably not running through his head, the middle of the game. You know what I mean? The entire game is available to watch on YouTube. Yeah, you can watch the 75 game, you mean? Yeah, you can watch it there. That you can. I remember the Habs Red Army game. Yeah. We've got a fairly older audience here for the most part. Dean Carrier. There's a new name. Hey, Dean. Great comeback. D-Dem Youngsters. The game ended in a 3-3 tie. Emil has a crossbar tonight. Ottawa was Habs land before the Sens were created. Oh, absolutely. I'm from the Ottawa Valley. There's tens of thousands of Habs fans in Ottawa in the area. At least 100,000, probably, I'd say, in the Ottawa region. Still, a lot of us never switched allegiances. No, I've been a Habs fan since Jean Beliveau. I remember my first hockey memory was Jean Beliveau scoring his 500th NHL goal. It's my first lasting. Well, no, that's not true. My first was Bobby Orr scoring and flying through the air. I remember that, the playoff before, but my first real firm Habs memory was Beliveau 500th goal against Minnesota. Habs fan since the mid 70s from southwestern Ontario here. Hey, Ken. Yeah. Oh no. There's a bunch in the Toronto area too. Grew up an hour from Toronto, cheering for the Habs. Wore a Patrick Leroy mask and net, playing in Whitby. There you go. Habs fan in Edmonton here, Grant. Yeah. Do you notice that if we lose a draw in OT, that the other team tags it for a minute to try and get Susie and Caulfield off the ice? Oh, yeah. And I think maybe Hudson even more so. Hab fans since the mid 60s from Northern Ontario. Northern Ontario, especially, I'd say predominantly Habs fans to this day. A lot of French in Northern Ontario, too. Veleno gave me a heart attack during a PK in which he tried to pass to Madison that gave Florida a 3-on-1. Yeah. Joe, I'm afraid, will be losing his job once all the injured players get back. Future's looking good, and the new year is almost here. Happy New Year to the Habs and all the Habs fans. Absolutely. How did you become a scout? Oh, I've explained that one before. It's a long story. Paid a lot of dues. Put it that way. Got to know Trevor. I give him my opinions on players all the time. He thought I had a good scouting eye. He got me a part-time job. I love how you set people straight when they make bogus comments. Nick was shit for 55 minutes, haha. Meanwhile, he helped hold Florida to 0 goals for the first 55 minutes. Well, that's it, Playing against the friggin' Stanley Cup champs, holding them to no frickin' goals in the first 50 minutes, and he played like shit? Yeah. Okay. I've got family all over Canada, all Habs fans there, Hab fans worldwide. Well, yeah. I'd say there's 10 million Hab fans. So, there's only 200 on here. Where are you guys? Hello, Hab fan. Come on down. 10 million of you. I'm just scratching the surface here. Habs fans in the hammer here. Habs fan in the hammer. I guess I'm supposed to know what the hammer is, eh? I guess that's Hamilton, is it? Would love to join you on the podcast sometime. I'd pull my weight. Yeah. Send me an email. We'll get you on. Anybody that's. Oh, wait a sec. Who said that, though? Oh, yeah. No, there's one stipulation. You got to be a member. Become a member of my YouTube channel. We'll talk. That's the deal I have. Since 93 Cup, born in 86. Woo. Okay. I remember having art class in grade 2 in Toronto. All the other boys were drawing Leafs players, and I was the only one that drew a Canadian player. There you go. Hey, Matthew Jackson, Hab fan in Melbourne, Australia. Really, eh? Cheers, mate. You have a Foster's? You gonna have a Foster's with me? What time is it there now? 1 in the afternoon, something like that. I always watch the Australian Open. That's coming up. Are you a tennis fan, Matthew? It's in Melbourne, isn't it? Cheers, mate. Well, I guess it's early afternoon, maybe a little early for a Foster's. Go walk about, have a Foster's. Yeah. Are you from, Matthew, are you from Australia or are you a transplanted Canadian? Habs fan currently in Nashville. Really hope Marshy stays here. Habs don't need another sub-6 player. Oh, yeah, you're in Nashville? That's pretty cool. Like who 2 nights in a row? Like how, I guess. Hey, Kevin McCarty. 2 nights in a row, MSL player Hart came out and put in Gallagher out there with a couple of minutes left. Shows Gally trust. One day you will get the triangle. I agree. Yeah. Hey, Gally's not killing the team out there. Another one from Australia. Australia. No pooftas. That's the old Monty Python skit. It's pretty good. Who's in the net next? I remember the first Habs game I watched. Gump Worsley was in goal. Yeah. The Gumper. The old paddle, knock the puck out. Puck could be up and he'd freaking knock it out there. Yeah. Probably was Rogie Vachon first game I watched. But my first real playoff memory for obviously distinct, like the whole playoffs through, was the Ken Dryden one. Oh, it's 3:36 p.m. Okay. Oh, Mark, did you send another $5 there, young man? I think you did. Thank you very much. We're getting perilously close to. By the way, I just cracked the second beer here. Very close to our $1,500 goal here for December. That's the deal, my friend. I'm in. Been waiting for someone like you to join. I'll even switch to Molson Canadian to see if we can hook up a sponsorship from Jeff Molson. Yeah, I know. Jeff's got it. I'm surprised Jeff hasn't got in touch with me yet. I mean, it's the obvious sponsor. Anyone from Molson watching? You saw, Grant at HabsCast.ca. or any salespeople on here, you want a job, straight commission, but we get a nice chunk there. Get in touch with Molson. Get me a sponsorship. I really do have to start going after sponsors. By the way, I've got a sponsor in place. I'm gonna start it up in the new year. Logs End. Ivan Cornoy got his whole house done with their flooring, their hardwood. They're a great company, and I'm really excited that they'll be sponsoring me, my first real sponsor. So Logs End. I hope some of you can get in touch with them once we get rolling here. Kenny Dryden, yep. My oldest wears 11 for Galley. Oh, that's cool. First time tuning in on your Habs YouTube, Habs fan from Saskatchewan, Johnny Smith. I hope it's not the last. Thanks, John. Hey, we're building an audience here, eh? And you'll notice that I interact with everybody on here. I just I get a great kick out of it. And anybody's smug or whatever, we tune them in. That's because we can. I hold the power here. The Patreon access he gives with the YouTube channel is amazing too. Yeah. Well, that's it, Chris. You become a member of the channel here. I'll send you. I put up highlights of this last game. I've got a subscription. It's cost me, so all of this helps, right? I mean, I spend thousands a year having to get an Instat subscription, and so I get highlights all year round. And I'll be putting up draft players, draft prospects, but Habs prospects, NHL. The thing is, on Patreon, I can't post highlights of Habs players on YouTube because it gets flagged, but there's no such thing on Patreon. So as the year goes along here, I'm going to post highlights from Habs players on the exclusive to my Patreon page. So if you're a member, if you're a YouTube channel member, get in touch with me, Grant at HabsCast.ca, and I'll gift you a free membership to the Patreon page, where you'll get great articles from Robert Trask, and I also do some exclusive scouting videos that of Habs prospects that I put up there that you don't get anywhere else. So I think it's $4.50 for a subscription on YouTube, and for that you get a free $5 subscription on my Patreon page. So I'm paying you 50 cents to become a YouTube channel member, and I'll even have you on for a little guest appearance if you're as brave as Chris Peddle. We'll have you on, Chris, but you got to become a member. That's the stipulation. Remember when Punch Imlach called Rogie Vachon Junior B goalie? No, I don't go back that far. That's I was 4 or 3. I was 3 at the time, so I remember Expo 67, going to that. That's my only memory of being 3, I think. That in Santa Claus's Village in upstate New York. My only real memories of being 3. But no, I don't. No, that's a little before my time. I wonder, does anyone in the league ever question the fact that we have some of the highest puck possession times, yet minimal PPs and phantom calls against? You know what? That's a good point. Yeah. You'd wonder, you'd think a team that has the puck all the time would get a few more calls against. I remember Leaf fans telling me Alan Besters was better than Raw. Yeah, Nick Robinson better than Cole too. They never learn, some of these guys. Hey, they got to chirp about something, right? Growing up in the heart of tobacco country in Delhi, is that anywhere near Tilsonburg? Tilsonburg, my back still aches when I hear that word. Dad was a Leafs fan, but watching Roy win the cup in '93 was the first game I watched really. Habs addict since. Right on. You need Aaron Asham. Yeah, sure. Aaron, he goes on that Legends of Hockey tour, and I told Liam have him on as a guest, but I'd have him on here. All hail Judge Grant. That's right. I'm the judge, jury, the whole works, executioner. So be nice. Get Randon Vandenbush on the pod. He was great on Knuckles. Toughest player to come from Delhi. There you go. Yeah. Can't wait to hear Liam. Best Habs historian and a great guy. Oh, he is at that. Well, um, Liam's on tomorrow, John. Leafs messed up in '93. Would have been crazy. Leafs had final. Yeah, I was glad they lost. For some reason, I had a funny feeling the Leafs would beat the Habs that year, so I wanted LA. And plus, I never cheer for the Leafs. Leafs made the final '93. I don't know if the Habs would win. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Best Leafs team ever assembled. Even Mueller said so. Yeah, that would have been something, but I wasn't hoping for it. Liam was great with Brian Skrudland, wasn't he? Absolutely fantastic. Uh, '93 Leafs were the best Leafs team ever assembled. No, they were good. They were a good team for sure. Yeah, near Tilsonburg. Well, that's tobacco country. Stomp and Tom told us so. I told a good Stomp and Tom story here. Be a few of you that one of my dad's best friends, he just passed away. Well, my dad did a decade more ago, but Jack Cameron, who owns Antrim Truck Stop, famous truck stop near Arnprior, he picked up Stomp and Tom hitchhiking minus 35-degree weather, just with a jean jacket on and his guitar. And oh, geez, Ronan Stomp and Tom stayed at my buddy's hotel back in the day. Got drunk with his dad. Yeah. Well, he picked him up, stopped in Winnipeg. I know a few of you probably heard this story, but it's pretty funny. Um, he was trucking, and not often a trucker necessarily pulls over for a hitchhiker, but he felt sorry for him, freaking hitchhiking in the minus 30-degree weather with a jean jacket on. Picked him up, and I'm sure he had his cowboy hat and the whole works. Where are you heading? Oh, I don't know. Down the road. And they stopped in Winnipeg, stayed in a hotel. Jack had his places that he stayed on the road. And, back in those days, the 60s, they had entertainment pretty well every hotel. Stomp and Tom, uh, he said to the guy that this guy plays guitar. Why don't you let him, get up, play a few songs? Stomp and Tom got up, was playing. And, right, this guy's pretty good. Jack calls down. He's from Renfrew, Ontario, birthplace of the NHL, by the way. My hometown. I grew up there. Calls down to the Renfrew Hotel. And he knew the owner well, and yeah, this I'm heading down. Do you have anyone booked next week? You should book this guy. Told the story and said, he's pretty good. Yeah, sure. We'll get him in. Stomping Tom. So he drove the next day, drove his rig to Renfrew, back to Renfrew eventually, you know, and Stomping Tom played that week at the Renfrew Hotel, and he was a hit. And he ended up staying in the Ottawa Valley for a freaking year. He wrote Big Joe Muffra, paddled down the Ottawa all the way from Ottawa in just one day, inspired him to write that. And, he became a legend, and all in part, large part due to my dad's really good friend, Jack Cameron. Bless his soul. He passed away 2 years ago. Every year, my dad would stop in whenever Jack was home in Burnstown, Ontario. And Jack had every Stompin' Tom record, and I was a kid. I loved it. I thought they were funny. And he'd play these records, and everyone was autographed. But Stompin' Tom gave him, every album, and never forgot him for what he did. Gave him his break, right? Had every album and autographed and everything. Whenever we'd stop in, hey, play the Stompin' Tom. And he would. Yeah, I became a big Stompin' Tom fan when I was a kid. There's my Stompin' Tom story. Speaking of puck possession, I would love to know the stats on the second line over the last 10 games. I bet we would all be shocked. You hardly know what goalie we have in net when that line is on. I know, eh? Ryan White. Yeah. Remember seeing him in the box after a fight with a huge smile, pointing to Geese Sig. He was tough as nails. Those Western Canadian boys, eh? Pound for pound, Aaron Asham and Ryan White. Tough. Was a closet Habs fan, used to watch Hab games on an old black and white Sony portable. Yeah. Habs would have beat the Leafs. Maybe. Yeah, let's go with that, John. Habs would have beat the Leafs. Yes. Remember when Gino was hilarious with the media? Yeah. I used to have a newspaper up in the Gatineau Hills. I published newspapers for, I don't know, 20 years. First one that I think I was 28 and decided I didn't like these $180 or $180 a week working every second weekend journalism jobs I was getting, and started my own, the Gatineau Gatineau, shorten it to the Gatineau, and got to know actually his dad, Joe, was quite a character, Maniwaki. They lived up in the reserve up there, and Gino obviously was a legend in the Gatineau Hills and Maniwaki. It's funny, like play competitive hockey and you play, there's different levels, right? And Gino was obviously not a skilled player at the NHL level, but he comes down and he plays a couple of games with all the local competitive players there one summer, and he's just, zipping through everybody, right? May not have been a skilled player in the NHL, but compared to us lugs, yeah, he was good. My family owned the hotel in Pakenham back in the day. Really? Oh, wow. I played senior hockey, and the last year in the Gatineau Hills that they had outdoor contact senior hockey, I played. Last year in Petawawa that they had senior hockey, I played. The last year in Pakenham that they had senior hockey, I played. Last year in Renfrew that they had senior hockey, I played that year. Um, I began to wonder, hey, are they closing up these leagues because of me or what? I mean, I wasn't that big a goon. It was it's funny. Great story, Grant. Love it. It was a true Canadian. He was a true Canadian icon, especially for us tobacco workers. Named our indoor soccer team Stompin' Toms in his honor. Hey, yeah, he was a Canadian patriot through and through. You know, just like Gord Downey wrote songs about Canada. You have to love it. Uh, Gino was a hab and also tough. Yeah. Marchand's goal is a pattern I like to see Demidov use. Skate around the ice and let chaos set. Then either shoot or pass. Players are expecting his cross passes at the moment. Yeah. Joe was so funny. Joey Ojic? Oh, I interviewed Joe for my newspaper. Uh, yeah, I went as far as Maniwaki with it. Low, Wakefield, Chelsea, that area, the Gatineau Hills. It was a great time. I loved it up there. Playing outdoor contact hockey. It was wild. 180 a week. Now you're making 10,000 a week on YouTube. Oh, yeah. Better get a little more flowing in there, boys. No, I'm not quite making that much. 400 maybe soon, hopefully. For years, I've seen our top six coast and bottom six wonder what their role is. Now I see every player fighting to either get power play, top 6 minutes, or get in the lineup. Future is bright, Grant. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, we're not getting a lot of likes. I'm going to have to quickly have a look here. See how many people have liked this episode so far. I might be tuning you in. One point six 1.6 1,600 views so far. I like that. That's good. That's really good. Let's just so out of 1,600 views, 1,600 people, how many people have liked? 125. Folks, that's little. That's not a lot. Um, Not a great percentage. Oh, it's tough to press like, eh? Eh, oh well, that's okay. 122 likes. Grant, on X earlier, you mentioned with a healthy goalie, we have the best top four in the league. No, I said it earlier in this podcast. Did I say it on X? Pierre Maguire said the same thing as you did. I agree with both of you. Uh-oh. Uh, Thanks, John. Fanatics may have spilled the beans early. They have been selling Team Canada memorabilia for Marchand, Marner, and Susie. Okay. Would love to see Larry Robinson hired as a consultant for the Habs to work with the D. Yeah, I don't know. He's pretty comfortable in Florida in the winters now. I think it might be tough. That boat has sailed, I'd be afraid. Ship. Need to get Liam to get Knuckles on with you. The Celtic Holy Trinity. Yeah, we're going to get Knuckles on. Maybe I'll come on too. I did a podcast with Knuckles with the sick team there last year. Nick Knuckles and I were at a bar in Montreal. Actually, it was the night Demidov made his debut. I went down, went to the game, left after the second period so I could be there in time for the podcast, and met Knuckles. Met Knuckles there. Grant on a yeah, okay, had that one. 122 likes. Yeah. Sometimes I need to remind people to press like. Yeah. Okay. Press like. Scott Stevens would be a great consultant then if Larry wouldn't do it. Yeah, really, eh? Uh, um, Larry told me a great story. I interviewed him in the summer. I've written 20 pages. I'm I have to put a book together. I haven't decided which angle I'm going with yet. Uh, but I have 20 pages, full pages, 20,000 words from Larry Robinson. And he was telling me when he coached, when he took over as coach from Robbie Fatorik, Lou fired Rob, and he was assistant and made him the coach. And he went in the dressing room and said, a lot of people here don't think that there's a leader in this room. I said, there's a leader. And he pointed right at Scott Stevens and said, you're the leader of this group. And he said, Scott just and he took the bull by the horns and he led that team. They won a cup that year. Larry knew how to press the right buttons, and the Canadians missed big time never hiring him to coach. He should have been the coach, not just an assistant coach, the coach. Larry's old and retired now, and nobody on the Canadians see him like we old fans, pretty much. Too bad Luke Richardson didn't stay on as an assistant. We're up to 130 now. Hey, there you go. 8. So we got 8 quick likes there. Okay. What's the best single game you've ever seen? For me, it has to be the World Cup of Hockey at the Bell Center. Watching Mario was something special. You know what? There was a playoff game, and I think it's on YouTube as well. I wish I could remember the exact. I think it was the year the Islanders were going. Was it 83 or 84? Game 5, Islanders and the Rangers. LaRouche was playing for the Rangers. Islanders were in the middle of their, um, it was the third or fourth year for them going for the cup, and I've never seen a more back and forth game. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. Game 5. Like I think it was in those days it was best of 5 in the first round. And I remember watching it that I'm just on the edge of my frickin' seat the entire game. It was just unbelievably entertaining. Don't recall there ever being a game where I was more captivated, and and it was friggin' the Rangers and the Islanders. I mean, I was obviously going for the Rangers to win because get the friggin' Islanders out of there. They'd won enough cups, thank you. I didn't want them to tie the Habs 4 in a row that they'd just done, and the Rangers gave them all they could handle. It ended up it was a 1-goal game, and I mean they came that close to upsetting the Islanders, but oh my goodness, just the back and forth, the excitement of that game, it was incredible. It's on YouTube, and I highly recommend you watch it sometime. I've never, It was just incredible game. Guy Carbonneau with the centers, yeah, that would be good. Always loved Stevens. The guy was an animal. Yeah, he was. Seeing Gretzky in a lost against the Americans, and he was unbelievable. Richter won MVP. Yeah. Well, that series in '87, those 6-5 games, Russia and those were incredible. But nothing will ever top Game 8, the '72 Summit Series, for me. Like as far as just emotion wise and excitement, and, Canada coming back. They're in Russia, Soviet Union. The calls, the bad calls, the reffing, coming back from 5-3 down, Cornway tying the game, and then Henderson winning it. Nothing will ever top that emotionally for me, ever. Emotionally. And I was even thinking of that too, 2010 in Vancouver. Joe Sakic. Crosby's goal to the Ginla was pretty exciting, but it'll always be Game 8, 72 for me. We have two people on the hot seat, Eric Raymond and Monty. Monty plays well. Raymond is gone. If he doesn't, Monty is. Yeah, maybe. As we build a contender, tough decisions will be made on the coaching staff. Could be. All right, folks, we've hit the 2-hour mark. It's after midnight. Nobody's been helping me get over this 200 mark here, or 1,500 mark. Been a little slow since Mark 11:30. Mark threw in $5. Thank you, Mark. He contributed 4 times today, by the way. I don't know if that makes any of you feel guilty, but thanks everyone for tuning in. I've got 2 shows to do tomorrow. I got to get prepared. It's midnight now. I got to go back over that. I have to see, first of all, if I can use some clips from it, and if YouTube ends up copywriting it from that the New Year's Eve game, I'll just use 5-second clips to get around it there. So I have to get some clips together for tomorrow's show, and yeah, thanks for all your support, Andy Zaff. Great job, Grant. Thank you. Danny Asham. Good night, Grant. Okay. For sure. Kevin, miss all the old arenas before they were all named corporations. Something thrilling being in the same building as your grandpa. Yeah. When I was a kid, we'd go over to Shawville my grandpa was my mom's father was a huge hockey guy. We'd go over Friday nights and he'd take me to the senior hockey. It was huge back in the 60s, and Shawville had great teams, like really good teams, ones that made it all the way, not to the Allen Cup final, but close to it, like Citizen Shield and things like that. And he took me and buy me hot dogs, the steamed hot dogs. They weren't as good as the Forum hot dogs, but something about those old steamed hot dogs, I loved it. He'd take me out to the games, and the Zamboni was actually a modified tractor. Shawville's farm country, right? Both my grandparents were farmers, come from farm stock, and yeah, they had a tractor, and it was great. Like the ice at the Shawville Arena was fantastic. I played my best hockey games at Shovel Arena because they had fast ice. They had a national midget tournament there. It used to be 64 teams from like Acadie, Bathurst, all over come to this tournament in Shovel, and I played my best games ever, won like MVPs playing in Shovel with my grandfather watching and stuff. It was great. Great memories. Okay, folks. Thanks, Mark. Excellent show. Excellent contribution from you. Don't know about Blu-ray, but I had it on VHS when I was young. Those 87, remember 87? I had the 3 VHS tapes of the 87 series. That was fantastic. Mario Lemieux. Thanks and have a good night. Okay. Same to you. Great. 1,450 watching or thereabouts. That's fantastic. Great numbers. Thank you so much. We're going to get over the 1,500 mark tomorrow. I think we're going to get over the 1,600 mark tomorrow. Last day of the year. I'm pretty encouraged by that. And of course, Mark, Donnie McCaskill, Fort George, all you guys, thank you for your contributions. You guys have been great. All right, that's it for tonight. I hear my dog Chester's pacing up there. He needs to be let out. Thanks again. Liam, tomorrow afternoon, soon as Nick gets named, we'll special podcast and early tomorrow afternoon, and we will talk about the Canada's roster and about that great New Year's Eve game 50 years ago. It's the 50th anniversary tomorrow. Liam said, hey, we got to do something. So I hope you can tune in then. Okay. Have a great night, everyone.